YB stays on your neck.
Stays on my neck.
From what I can see, and what I've been noticing for the longest, is he has to get better people around him. He needs better training. His defense is bad. His just you can hit him with right hands, or you can hit him with left hooks. You can hit him in the body, and these are things that you got to work on. He has a good jab, but it's not a proper jab. I mean, he's 6'7" or something. You go in the ring, you see him boxing, even like when he fought Pavecki. He spread his legs real wide like this. I mean, he's trying to get down to this guy's size. So when you 6'7", why you want to come down to this man's size? So those are techniques and things that he's doing in the ring that tells me that boy needs some help. When the fighter said, well, something is wrong with me, I don't feel good, something is wrong. Why do I feel like this? And I think at one point in the 5th round, he said, what do I do? What is he going to do? And the corner said, well, he's going to try to get underneath you. And he said, what do I do? I mean, he's asking for advice, technical advice, but he's not getting it. Which means his corner and his people was way over their head.
Direct flag.
They're way over their head. And
yo, my dance, make sure you hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and obviously hit the bell for notifications. Listen, people say the YB don't know boxing. Why is it? Everywhere I look, the YB is saying what all these great professionals are saying. Antonio Tarver, Roy Jones, Lennox Lewis, George Foreman. This is the bottom line. Rob McCracken is out of his depth. That's what it comes down to. Oh, Cole Froch didn't improve for 10 years. Cole Froch got away with the fact that he was at a 168 division, which was extremely weak in the period he was in it for. Let's call a spade here. It was a pathetic division, the 168 division. Pathetic. Apart from Andre Ward, it was full of bums. Absolute stiffs. And even now it's not much better, but still. Full of stiffs. That's how Carl Froch got away with it. If there'd have been a puncher at 168, he'd have been knocked out. Look at George Groves. George Groves isn't known as a massive puncher. He put Carl Froch down. Yeah? That's the truth of the matter. Yeah? Carl Froch's skills did not improve for the 10 years he was with. What's that guy's name? Rob McCracken. Didn't improve. Fact. And look at Joshua now. Everyone's putting these things out. Pointing them out. People say, oh, YB, you weren't saying this before. The YB's only been here for 3 years. Let me get my catalogue up. Let me see what YB's been saying. Facts, yeah? Hatman, people say, oh, Hatman was saying this ages ago. Hatman was on here ages ago. Let me have a catalogue. I'm already saying this now. I've been here 3 months. Yeah? Was Hatman saying 3 months into his YouTube career that Joshua needs to change coaches? Probably not. But anyway, that's here or there. The fact of the matter is, AJ's defense. This is what Mike Tyson's old coach points out. You can hit AJ with every shot. Now, I'm going to go based on this last performance. Performances before it, you're only as good as your last performance. Performances before it, his defense looked better than it did. But listen, bottom line is, I'm not going to sit here and make excuses or make conspiracy theories up for AJ, because he don't throw us no rope. AJ don't come out and say, oh guys, let me help my fans out and let them know I wasn't right. He ain't doing that. He's selling us down the river, telling us he was fine. So let's go based on what he's saying that he was fine. So if you're fine, what happened to your defense? He's got this weird leaky ass guard he puts up. It falls all over the place. It's not tight. His elbows aren't in. He's rocking and rolling, swaying as if Andy Ruiz is the next, a completely mental 4 times stronger than Mike Tyson. A big 250-pound strong dude is rocking and rolling with every shot that touches him. What's that about? Very weird. All of a sudden, he doesn't know how to parry a shot or catch a shot. He's just getting hit with everything but the kitchen sink. What's that about? Robert McCracken. That's what it comes down to. They haven't been drilling things properly. When you look at Rob McCracken on the pads, you'll never see McCracken catch a shot from AJ and then slap AJ with something. You never see him working defense with offense. It's all big, hard, slow jabs and big, hard, slow jab, left hook from AJ. I exposed it a couple of weeks ago. AJ on the pads, on that what's it called? On the pad thing. One of them big, Canelo used it a lot. A big pad where you bang it, and AJ was AJ was banging that, and there was no defense in there. There was no footwork. There was no speed. It was big, good power, but we already know fighting good fighters like Ruiz or average fighters, fighting any fighter with head movement who's smaller and who's looking to get in, they're going to be able to duck and weave and whatnot. So speed's more important than power. And I've always said, as a trainer, if I was to have a fight, I'd tell the fighter, listen, every fight we go into, we're going to go into the fight focusing on speed and placement. Let's get the shots landing. Let's not worry about putting power. Once we get a shot landing, let's try hitting with a quick jab. Once you get consistent with it, then you can start increasing the power gradually. Break them down. You don't need to go into a fight, loading up in the first round. No, let's get it landing. Let's get some consistency. Let's get some accuracy. And then we can start turning the dial up once we've broken him down and once it's landing. Once we're confident. It's no good trying to go with loads of power and missing every time. And that's where Deontay Wilder actually went wrong in the Tyson Fury fight. Rather than going in there and setting it up and let's get the speed going, let's get the accuracy going, he went in there just loading up, and he couldn't get it till the 9th round. And that was because Fury slowed down rather than because Wilder changed his game plan massively. But anyway, that just highlights that point. Mike Tyson's trainer highlights AJ's jab. He's 6'6", and he's got no jab. And I have to agree. In that fight, and to be honest with you, never mind just that fight, AJ has been with McCrackhead for 10 years, near enough. And there's been no real improvement. If you go back to his early fights back in 2011, 2012, has his jab really improved since then? No. Has it got faster? Has it got more stinging? No. Has he got a triple jab? No. Has he got a double jab? Not really. Not in the Ruiz fight, he definitely didn't have it. He barely had a single jab. The punch output was so low, even for AJ's standards. Historically speaking, AJ's average output has been 46 punches a round, which is bang on the heavyweight average. This fight, it was like 27, 28, 30. He's going backwards. Just like Freddie Roach, he's going backwards from the Klitschko fight. AJ, by now, 5 years on for being pro, he should have a stinging triple jab now. Lennox Lewis style. Bang, bang, bang. If not more powerful than Lennox Lewis as well. He should have everything should be on the up. Instead, he's going backwards. Now he can't even maintain one jab, a single jab. He can't even do that for a whole round. When he tries to do that, he's down at 20 punches a round output. Not good enough. It comes down to the trainer, and I'd love to be able to say we can't even sit here and say, well, it's not McCracken's fault because clearly McCracken got him in the shape to output 40, 50 jabs a round, but AJ just didn't do it. Bro, he did 20 punches a round, and he was gassed. He was gassed, and he wasn't even throwing no shots. So that clearly shows McCracken's not doing his damn job properly. On that note, the defense note as well. Why is it AJ's not comfortable under fire? David Hay pointed it out. Now, funnily enough, Hatman did say, he kind of exposed Hay. I gave Hay a lot of credit for saying that AJ needs to go into the war more often. AJ needs to be comfortable under pressure, which is true. But Hatman pointed out that it's all well and good Hay talking about needing to get comfortable under pressure. What happened to all that pressure fighting when you got in there with Klitschko and bottled it? What happened to having a war? Hayes sitting there criticising AJ about, oh yeah, you need to get used to being under pressure. Well, you was under pressure in a Klitschko fight and you didn't do nothing. You stood there and jacked the fight. So anyway, that was funny. But listen. The facts remain the same for AJ. AJ needs to be prepared under fire, which he did not look prepared under fire. And unfortunately, back in 2011, when he fought a similar fighter to Andy Ruiz, if not quicker, well, he was quicker because he was a lot lighter, but Mihai Nistor, he did exactly the same thing to AJ. And AJ, when he's under pressure, which is natural for most people, when you're under pressure, it's not normal feeling. In fact, it's the most foreign feeling. When you're under pressure and someone's on top of you throwing combinations, there's nothing like it. Absolutely nothing like it. You have to become used to it. And the only way you get used to it is by training it. You have to be used to standing there and being under it. And I feel what's probably happened is AJ for too long, number one, hasn't really fought a combination puncher. Number two, hasn't really fought a 100% aggressive coming forward fighter. And number three, AJ's focus too much on, okay, I'm gonna be in a position to be the hammer every time, which is true to an extent, but still, this is what I'm saying. When you've been with someone for 10 years, I agree, AJ is the hammer, but when you've been training, if I was training AJ for 10 years, yeah, by now, we would have covered every point. Of course, AJ's core is, okay, I'm going to be the hammer that steps forward. However, it's not as if he just joined McCracken. Oh, he's only been there a year, YB, give him some time. He's been there for 10 years. Therefore, not only should his hammer game be 10 out of 10, he also should have worked on, okay, let's now prepare for a scenario. As an example, in the Povetkin camp, he could have brought someone in. Even though it's unlikely for Povetkin to do this, let's start practicing and working on other skills, just in case it comes up in the future. Let's start preparing for A, B, C, D. Let's prepare for someone like this, small and short, on the inside, throwing combinations, because that's a fighter we haven't fought before. Let's start rounding off our skill set. It doesn't seem like AJ's been doing much rounding off of his skill sets. It's as if he's focused. Oh, in fact, I'm not even sure what he's been doing. So you can't even sit here and say, oh, he's been focusing on becoming a hammer, because that release performance, he's been all over the place. That was the worst performance I've ever seen him, running backwards. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe McCracken has been actually rounding off AJ's skill set. He's been working on AJ's worst skill, i.e. running backwards, turning AJ into a fighter he will never be. I can tell you this now for free. All you people out there telling me, oh, YB, you don't know what you're talking about. AJ's a boxer. Yeah, AJ's an outboxer. You lot are muppets. AJ will never be a back foot fighter, ever. Never, ever, ever. Never, it will never happen. He'll run out of gas every time. He's not made to be doing that. It's a very particular skill to have, to be a run backwards fighter, especially at heavyweight. It doesn't work. That's what I believe anyway. So as I was saying, the jab, not developed. His defense, not developed. There should be this 10 years down the line, we should start seeing consistent head movement now. I showed you it yesterday in my live stream, or 2 days ago. AJ had head movement in the Dylan White fight. AJ had head movement in the Klitschko fight. Somehow, he don't have none no more. He's disappeared. He doesn't know how to roll under a hook anymore. All he knows how to do now is stand up straight, put his chin in the air, and sway side to side every time he gets hit, and fall over. That's what it looks like to me. And I'm sorry, but it comes down to his team. I don't believe they're doing the right thing. I really don't. And look at McCracken. McCracken rather. Why haven't we heard from him? He should be embarrassed, and he should be coming out saying, listen, UK public, I want to put something out there. I want you guys to know that I didn't think that was acceptable, and I've looked at myself, and I'm going to make some changes. Where's that statement been? He hasn't been nowhere, because he's sitting at home thinking, yeah, I did a great job. Yeah, I did a great job. And actually, this dude here, I've got his name, I think it's Shelley. Either way, whatever his name is, this Mike Tyson's former trainer, he says that AJ was looking for advice in the corner, and McCracken didn't give it to him. McCracken was out of depth. And it was true, because at one point, AJ said, what's he going to do? And McCracken said, oh, he's going to look to come underneath you. He's going to look to come forward. Well, obviously, who couldn't have told you that? But these are all things you should have been prepared for in the camp. It's no good on fighting night, AJ being... I reckon what's happened is, they've been doing their standard train they do for every camp. I reckon McCracken trains in the same way. Listen, look at his pad work. It's the same way every time. I never see it no different. AJ, big, slow lumbering jab, AJ. Boom. Big, slow lumbering left hook. Boom. That's what they do every time. You don't see no variety. You don't even see him practicing moving backwards on the pads. It's always coming forwards, nice and slow. I've even know what I've actually heard Rob McCracken say before. That's it, AJ. Nice and slow. Easy. That's what he says to him. That's what I swear to God, he says to him. Easy, AJ, easy, nice and slow, lovely, nice and slow, slow it down. I think slow it down, speed it up. Let's get the cardio going about slow it down. Anyway, the next thing he points out is, he talks about AJ's stance, and I have to agree. AJ, since the Povetkin fight, AJ's kind of like lowered himself down now. For the Povetkin fight, he said he lowered himself down, squatted really low because he wanted to be eye level. Now, and this is the problem with McCracken again, because as a trainer, I would be training AJ to understand it's not one size fits all, as in you can have several stances. Yeah? Me, myself, I like to have 4 or 5 stances. So you can squat down low, And that's going to be, when you're standing toe to toe with a smaller person, of course, yeah, get lower, get on their level, and bang. But that's more of a stand and bang situation. If you're backing up on the back foot, you want to be as tall as you can. You want to keep your head and you want to keep your head as far away from them as possible. Now, you don't want to put your chin in the air, but you want to keep your chin down, but stand tall. Make it harder to get to. Give you the bird's eye view. You don't want to give away your height advantage if you're going to be backing up, or if you're going to be relying on your jab, which is what happened in the Ruiz fight. In the Ruiz fight, he lowered himself down and was only throwing jabs. There's no point lowering yourself down if you're going to throw a jab. If you're planning to jab all night, you might as well stay tall and jab. Now, if you're planning to get stuck in on the inside, of course, lower yourself down. Get that centre of mass nice and low. And these are the things I just don't believe McCracken's doing it. Because it seemed to me as if AJ thinks, you know what, this low stance is one size fits all. This stance is for everything. If I'm backing up, I need to stay low. If I'm moving forward, I need to stay low. It's not. You need to have different stances and different guards and whatnot for different situations. And yeah, you need to know that. I'm not 100% sure. I'm really not. I'm not 100% sure McCracken and AJ have had that conversation. Or I'm not sure he's bred AJ into understanding that. I'm really not. I'm not confident in it anyway, not from what we saw there. What adjustments, as an example, people talk about IQ and fighters making adjustments. What adjustments did AJ make in that fight against Ruiz? What? Which ones? And like I keep saying, it's not as if, he's only been with AJ for a year. So let's give him some time. He's been there for 10 years. There was no adjustments made. And these are the fights where you need to see, when AJ's balling people over, you're never going to see no adjustments then. So you maybe said, you've been a bit harsh, it's only one fight. No, it's not only one fight. This is one of the first fights that AJ's had to make adjustments, i.e. he's been under pressure. So yeah, this is when you see how good a trainer or a team are. You can't sit there and suck McCracken off when he's winning and balling people over, of course. That doesn't show you how adaptive you are or how well trained a fighter is. You see how well trained a fighter is when they're under pressure and if and when they can make adjustments. AJ made no adjustments. That's what we do know. No adjustments made. At all. Not one. And it wasn't that much of a fast-paced fight. Ruiz did bum rush him, but Ruiz's feet weren't that quick. They really weren't. On hindsight, I watched it back. Ruiz wasn't bum rushing that much. Or being that fast. So there was plenty of time to make adjustments in that fight. Anyway, the last thing I'll say before I finish this video is... Well, actually, we've kind of covered it there, actually. With the whole advice in the corner. And this dude says that AJ's McCracken, didn't... AJ was looking for advice. He wanted to know what to do. And all McCracken says is, throw the jab. Now, that to me... Well, for most people, that might sound like, that was good advice, but it's not real technical advice, is it? It's not what you... who couldn't have said that? I could have said that. I'm not being paid to do it, or I'm not a professional boxing trainer. You need to give people more complex advice, not throw a jab. I don't know, maybe something like... you know what? I'm just going to sit here and say this. I don't know. But all I know is, saying throw a jab, especially when you've been put down, this wasn't a normal situation. Your fight has just been put down. There's got to be some better advice you've got, some more complex advice. 30 years in the game. There's got to be some better advice than throw the jab. Keep it long. That to me is not good enough. And this coach points that out.